of KVWN News, and today we are reporting on a story developing in Salt Lake City, Utah, where there are growing concerns regarding the air quality. Utah is a state known for a geography that traps low-lying pollutants to devastating effects. New legislature is being considered to help curb these problems and hopefully create a cleaner future. Now to Brick Tamland with the weather. Brick?
Thanks, Ron, and good morning. I'm Brick Tamland, and here's your weather for today. It is looking to be another cloudy day with temperatures of mid-no thank yous, but still greater than my future. As you can see on this chart, the clouds have formed above and around the city contain high levels of ozone and particulate matter. This smog has formed from such things such as local vehicles, factories, and power plants, all of which continue to be emitting ozone and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These react with sunlight at ground level and stay trapped below the stratosphere, forming a dangerous substance called photochemical smog. The pollutants can cause human health effects. One major effect is irreversible damage to both the lungs and the heart. These problems are only worsened by our geography that sits in a bowl and climate that creates warm, dry air. The phenomenon, which is called the temperature inversion, where the warm, dry air traps the cold air with the pollutants in it underneath. However, these levels do drop during the night when solar radiation and temperatures are low. The environment is also taking a hit from the pollution. The pollution can decimate crops like tobacco, tomatoes, and other plants. It also causes damage, in some cases, death to trees. Less oxygen will be reduced as a result of all the vegetation dying off, and there will be less food for people. Back to you, Ron.
Thanks, Brick. This issue in Utah falls within the guidelines of the Clean Air Act. The Act outlaws any forms of air pollution such as acid rain, toxic air emissions, and urban air emissions. Currently, the EPA is facing a notice filed by the Center for Biological Diversity, the CBD, due to their negligence of the Utah and Arizona areas not submitting plans on how to clean up the air. We asked the field campaigner for CBD, Dita Seed, about the issue, and she told us that this is really about holding the EPA accountable for its job it's supposed to do to protect our air. The EPA is given 2 months to act on this matter, or else they will face a lawsuit. In a recent interview with the government of Utah, he said that the government of Utah recognizes the air pollution problem, and they will submit a $100 million budget this year so they can try and work to fix the matter. His actions are no surprise due to a recent Harvard study. The study shows that due to the pollution, there's been an increased number of deaths amongst citizens 65 and older in Salt Lake City. The air crisis may also cost the state a lot of potential money, with them being considered for the 2030 Olympic Winter Games. Now with more on the story from our sports side of it, here's Champ Kind.
I'm Champ Kind, and today major news from the sporting world. The International Olympic Committee is facing major scrutiny over the decision of where to host the 2030 Winter Olympics. The IOC has been considering Salt Lake City to host. Unfortunately, the air quality being so poor during the winter has become a major concern. Local fans feel that all the large increase in car activity will only make things worse. This would only continue the trend that has been observed with diseases such as COPD, asthma, and hypersensitivity pneumonitis, all of which have increased over the last several years and are potentially fatal. If this were to happen to one of our treasured athletes, it would be a true tragedy. Finally, the athletes are extremely concerned that the conditions causing these diseases will cause permanent damage to their bodies. They feel that if the IOC moves to make this decision, it is a disservice and a disrespectful act towards them. Whammy! Now we return to Ron Burgundy with recent legislation that could be enacted.
Thank you, Champ. With all of these concerns mounting, many people are calling for changes in how Utah handles air pollution. Many people would like to see more regulations on the amount of CO2 or other gases factories and plants can emit. But some are calling for more domestic changes. If the amount of cars driving on the road changes or decreases, much of the ozone problems will decline. While there is support for these types of changes, many are concerned that the government should not be allowed to inhibit on the citizens' rights to drive. They want larger corporations to be punished instead of the average citizen. Regardless of what happens, Salt Lake City is facing a major air quality issue, and unless changes are made to fit more of the standards of the Clean Air Act, things will not improve. Thanks for watching. From all of us at KVWN News.
Good night.